Hello students, today we're starting our lecture with learning how spells work. So how do spells work? Well, everything in the world possesses an energy signature of some kind. Organic objects contain more energy than inorganic objects. A piece of wool or silk fabric, for instance, will hold more energy than a piece of polyester. The closer an organic object is to its natural state, the higher its energy. For example, a tree rooted in the wild has more energy than a stack of lumber created from that tree, and a barn stable built from that lumber retains even less of the tree's original energy. All the energy possessed by these objects reaches out to connect with other energies. A web of energy links the physical and non-physical worlds. That means you and I and everything else have a connection that enables us to communicate with one another and through the power of magic to work together to consciously create our own reality. When we seek to influence a situation by doing spells, we tweak the energy in one location, and that tweak sends ripples all over the web. A common metaphor is that of a spider's web. No matter where the spider sits on her web, when an insect strikes it, the tiny shocks travel through all the strands of the web to alert her that she has a visitor for tea. Like the spider's web, strands of energy connect everyone and everything, enabling us to send out our intentions and receive input from our surroundings. So, what is the difference between spellcasting versus crafting? Spellcrafting and spellcasting are integrally connected, but they also have certain distinctions. To give a simple explanation, spellcrafting is the practice of fabricating the spell. You think about what you want to accomplish, gather ingredients to include in the spell, write down your objective, figure out the steps you'll take, and so on. Then you put it all together. It's a bit like preparing a recipe, and in fact, culinary recipes can be a spell, as we will learn later on this course. When you release the energy you raise during the spellcrafting stage, you cast the spell. You send the energy and your intention out into the universe so that your intention can manifest. Here's another analogy. Crafting the spell is like designing and assembling an automobile, whereas casting the spell is like driving the car. When you cast the spell, you put it to work. So where can you use the spells? People use the spells in every area of life for all sorts of reasons. You can use magic spells for just about anything. However, spells for prosperity, love, health, and protection tend to be the most popular one. In part 2 of this course, we will find dozens of spells that address these issues and more. One reason many of us don't enjoy the riches, well-being, and happiness we could is that we don't feel we deserve them. The lack of self-worth results in lack everywhere else in life. It can also sabotage your magical workings. Perhaps you heard something called the law of attraction. This says that you attract what you think you're about. If you're constantly worrying about how you're going to pay your bills, if you see something you want but say to yourself, I can't afford that, your thoughts are about insufficiency. You think of yourself as being poor. Consequently, you attract poverty and lack. Before you can receive the blessings you desire, you must shift your thinking to prosperity consciousness. You must consider yourself worthy of obtaining your dreams and believe you can attain them. Esther and Harry and Jerry Hicks from Money and the Law of Attraction had a saying on their book, if you feel poor that you're poor, you cannot attract prosperity. So let's set something straight right now. Spell working isn't selfish or greedy. When you do a spell to attract money or success or love, you aren't robbing anyone else of those goodies. The universe has plenty for everyone. Fulfilling your basic needs enables you to explore the higher potential of your life, your creativity, and your spiritual calling, and so forth. When you no longer have to worry about having food, shelter, and the basic needs in order to survive on planet Earth, you can devote yourself to loftier goals that may benefit others as well as you. William James said, if you believe that feeling bad or worrying long enough will change a past or future event, then you're residing on another planet with a different reality system. As you become more proficient at doing a spell, and you begin to see your spells materialize, you'll likely gain more self-confidence. If you are not sure of your abilities yet, it might help to start small. If you can't imagine manifesting $1,000,000, try a smaller sum, perhaps $100. Don't let yourself get stuck at a level below what's possible, because truly anything is within your grasp. The universe can just as easily give you something big as something little, but you have to be open to accepting it. Now, what's the difference between a spell and a ritual? Sometimes the words spell and ritual are used interchangeably, but they are two different things. Yes, there's some overlap, and that can make things confusing. So let's think about it in this manner. When you do a spell, you use your mind, emotions, will, and natural powers to bring about an internal or external result. When you do a ritual, you perform a series of actions designed for a particular purpose. In the secular world, we engage in rituals all the time, from dressing for work in the morning to readying ourselves for bed at night. Some secular rituals have traditional aspects, such as donning your favorite sports team colors at homecoming, or painting your face, and packing your cooler with plenty of beer. Yes, that is a ritual. Spiritual rituals are often performed to honor a higher power or to celebrate your connection with that power, but they may have other purposes as well. A spell can be a part of a ritual, and a lengthy, detailed spell may include ritual actions as well as interactions with deities. So let's go over the basic steps for successful spell work. Although every spell is different, most involve a series of steps, as outlined here, or some version of them. Following these steps not only increases your likelihood of success, it also decreases your chance of mix-ups. An athlete wouldn't run a marathon without stretching first, or would a surgeon perform a procedure without sterilizing his hands. The same holds true for spell work. Setting the stage, cleansing your tools, and above all, preparing your mind are important to the success of your spells. Each step of a spell serves a purpose, and they all lead to your desired outcome. So first, silence all distractions. Turn off the TV, the phone. Tell other people who won't be participating in the spell not to bother you. Put a do not disturb sign on your door. Put pets in a place where they won't demand your attention or upset your activity. Normally, familiars like to participate way too much. You need to keep your attention focused on your task in order to produce good results. Additionally, when you do a spell, you move from mundane space into magical space. Being jerked back from the magical place by some outside interference can be jarring, like being shaken up of peaceful sleep. Okay, so step number 2 is establish your intention. Unless you have a clearly defined reason for doing a spell, don't bother. It's simply a waste of time and energy, and your efforts may go awry. Write down your intention, and this helps clarify your objective and starts the process of moving it out of your mind into physical form. If you'll be working with other people, discuss your intention together beforehand so everyone understands what you're doing and why. It's essential that you are all in agreement and that you all focus on the same intention, otherwise you may get mixed results. Third, compose your spell. Think about your desired outcome and what energies you wish to harness in order to help you achieve this outcome. Write down what you will do in your spell and the steps with which you'll proceed. If you plan to use an affirmation or incantation, make sure that you either memorize it or write it down. We will learn more about this on Module 5. If you'll be working with other people, go over the steps and details beforehand so everyone in accord and feels comfortable with his or her role. Number 4, collect all ingredients. Collect all ingredients necessary for your spell. Cleanse every item, either by washing it with mild soap and water or by smudging it in the smoke of burning sage or incense. Bring all the objects you'll use into the space where you'll perform your spell. Ritual tools should have been consecrated beforehand. We will learn more about this on Module 6. If you work with other spellcasters, decide whose tools you'll be using in the spell and who will wield them. Number 5. Establish your spell working space. First, cleanse the area where you perform your spell. You can do this by smudging it with the smoke from burning sage or incense, or by sweeping it with a broom, or both. Sometimes imagining the area filled with pure white light may be enough. Invite everyone who will participate to enter the space and then cast a circle around it. We're going to discuss how to do this on Chapter 3 or Module 3. A magic circle provides an energetic barrier that keeps unwanted energies out and holds desired energies in. This is extremely important. Number 6, we need to shift our consciousness. Light a candle or incense, meditate, or do whatever helps you shift your thinking from mundane to magical. From this point on, try not to let any ordinary thoughts intrude into your elevated mental state. Some people will do this meditation. If you're working with other people, don't talk unless you're chanting an affirmation or performing another verbal part of your spell. Number 7, it is the time to raise our energy. Some people do this by chanting or humming, drumming, breathing deeply, like in some Hindu cultures, or dancing. Do what feels right to you. Envision yourself drawing energy up from the earth and into your body. Also draw energy from the heavens down into your body and let them blend within you. You'll sense your awareness change. You might feel more energized, calm, aware, centered, sensitive, tingly, or something else. If you're working with other people, allow your individual energies to merge for the term of the spell. We are going to discuss this more as we go through the modules. Number 8, invite other entities. If you choose, invite other entities to participate in your spell. Angelic presences, spirit guides and guardians, totem animals, ancestors, elementals, and other non-physical beings can provide protection and assistance during spell work. We're going to talk more on Module 7 on how to work with the spirit beings when we get there. Number 9, perform your spell according to the plan that you designed earlier. Number 10, after completing your spell, release the entities who assisted you, if any, and thank them. Number 11, open the circle. We're going to learn more about this on Module 3. But basically, what we're doing is we're sending the energy that you raised during your spell work towards your goal and trust that it will materialize at the proper time in the proper way. Number 12, dismantle your magical space. Extinguish the candles, collect your tools and any other items you brought into the circle, and store your tools in a safe place until you choose to work with them again. And number 13, the final step is manifestation. This is when you achieve your goal. In your book of shadows, if you have one, or you can have a personal journal of spells, write in what you did and what ingredients or tools you used when you performed the spell, as well as what you felt, sensed, thought, witnessed, and so on. If you are working with other spellcasters, you may wish to discuss what transpired and how you felt about the spell and its enactment, and what, if anything, you might do differently in the future, or what you learned together. I hope that you learn about the art of spell work and how to have the basic steps to do successful spell work by yourself or with others. In the next module, we're going to tap into magical power, and we're going to talk about what does it mean to practice magic. See you then.